Yep.
Okay, at this point we have our low speed, about 100 RPM. We have our parting tool that's going to cut the notch. And we have our black threading oil that we also use to cut the notch. Before we can cut the full depth, we have to reset our dial on the cross slide here. We're using the dial to measure our depth of cut. So I turn on my lathe, I bring the tool in until it just touches and scratches my bluing. Okay, it's now touching the work. Bring my dial around to 0. And there's a small red thumb wheel here. I have to push to my left to lock it. That's now locked at 0. Right here where it's 0. A little bit of threading oil. Now I'll watch my dial and I'll go in 10,000ths of an inch increments. 10, there's 20 thousandths, there's 30. I take a little break at each 10, I can stop and check my oil. Now at 40 thousandths, 50. 60, 70 thousandths, 80, 90. 0.090 is what we're going down to. That gives us a notch. When we thread, we've got a place to stop and we're not cutting after we make our pass. Now our paper towel can actually stay in place. We'll use it to catch our oil and our chip from threading. At this point, I'm going to want to continue my bluing the whole length of that. It will show me my first passes where I'm threading. Use the bluing at the lathe, just don't be sloppy with it. I don't want to see blue all over the lathe. Okay, step 4 on our thread cutting procedure. It says set our compound at 29 or 30 degrees. The compound rest has a protractor on the cross slide. It will have a mark perhaps over here at the side, perhaps here at the back. In our case, the mark is at the back, and for reasons I don't understand, they've got a mark at 60 degrees as opposed to 30. We can look at it. It's an important tool because we're going to be adding depth with the compound as we're threading. So number 4 said compound rest at 29 or 30. This one's already set. Number 5 says adjust our spindle speed to 80 RPM. On these machines, spindle speed is set by moving our levers. And people have some trouble with these, especially these machines. While there's some age on them, the gears in them are not even broken in yet. They're actually relatively new machines because they don't have that many hours on them. So it can be a hassle to get these to go into gear. What we always want to do is be able to move our spindle while we're trying to get it into gear, because that'll help them slip and have them come into where we want them to be. See, even the teacher has trouble.